morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching The Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good. A little bit nervous because Halloween is coming up.
Here we
I'm
go.
afraid of these costumes these kids going to be wearing. Some of them are quite scary, if you know what I mean.
You're already wearing yours.
You're a funny guy, Joe. Okay, sitting on the desk is Emma Lily. And also on the stage is Joey. Welcome, Joey.
Hello.
Or Joe. Joey, what do you prefer? Or Joseph?
Joe, I guess.
Joe. Okay, so you don't want me to call you Joey.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Joey. All right, well, we got a show full of news and entertainment for this next upcoming half hour.
We do? You just burped.
I'm sorry, I
How much Halloween
apologize.
candy have you already coughed?
Do I have to answer that?
Yeah.
I'm
So that's
kinda
what took him so long in the house.
Okay, let's see. I'll be counting my fingers all evening.
Did you wash your hands finally? About time.
No, actually, no. I still got chocolate on my fingertips. And I still got candy in my pockets.
Uh-oh.
Cool. So I figured while you guys are talking to the camera, I can chow down wrong rate.
No eating in the studio.
Double ACS has a rule about eating on stage, so I have to wait till after the episode. And, I'm getting nervous with this stall. All right, well,
No eating in the studio. She tried to tell you that too.
You're lucky that's,
Joe,
that's not Chucky.
this episode is
is.
being taped on Wednesday, the 26th of October, so it may or may not air before the 31st.
it does.
So we wish you all a happy and safe Halloween. I figure I'll mention that now. So it's
How about we also wish them a happy and safe All Saints Day, which is November 1st. A lot of people don't know
Oh, I
that.
never knew that. I'm one of them
Yes.
people who didn't know that.
Yeah, well.
How about you,
explain it
Joe?
to you
Did you
later.
know that, Joe? All
I
Saints
did,
Day? I knew nothing about it. What is that holiday about?
Super brief reason why we have Halloween. All the souls, all the tortured souls would float throughout the year and throughout the land and cause frivolity and fun on
Yeah.
Halloween, which is the
okay.
day before All Saints Day.
Oh. Well, Joe was a saint. Not you, Joe, but there was a saint named Joe.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, there was a church named after St.
Well,
Joe.
that's St. Joseph is where I was baptized in Weymouth, North Weymouth.
Oh, okay.
We got one
Joseph's.
here in Attleboro, too.
Yes, yes, you do.
Right down near where I live.
Yes.
And there's also a St. Stephen.
Was.
Yes, there is.
There was one here in Attleboro.
Was there a St. Robert?
I don't
There probably
think,
was.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think there was a St. Emily either, but
Well, okay.
there must have been a St. Robert somewhere.
True. Okay. All right, well, let's kick things off with a sad note. The deaths on the list that Joey has. And we usually start off with the deaths, so you got the list, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Or did you eat it?
No,
Oh, wait,
I don't
that's something
eat it.
I would
I'm
do.
not- I don't-
You need to listen. Your spectacles on there, son.
No, I got them memorized because I only have two.
Oh, no, you can remember that, but half the questions I asked you during the week, you don't have the answer
Wait a minute. I'll say something to you and you repeat it 3 minutes later for the last 4 years.
to. Well, I forget
You
all
keep doing that and I want to stop cracking you with Emily.
that. I know, I sound like a broken
Emily
record.
here. Not Emily. Emily will kick you for me.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
First off, we got Murder, She Wrote star Ron Masak.
Again? Cabot Cove, another death?
Yeah,
every
that's the
week.
fourth one.
Every week someone dies from Cabot Cove, even after the show's off the air for years, someone keeps dying from there. Now would you drop?
My glasses.
Right, you can't read anyway, you can't see.
And Harry Potter star Robbie Coltrane, who played Hagrid the Giant.
Yes, I read on the internet he died from sepsis. Basically, all his organs started dying. That kind of hits home with me. That's when my mom passed away, basically from sepsis. So,
That's all I
he was a
have.
good actor. I enjoyed Hagrid. Now you pick it up.
My glasses.
Well, leave him down.
I don't look at
Maybe you could see better.
Oh. You have any birthdays, Joe?
I've got two. We got Eddie Guerrero from October 9th. And the other one is Scott Hall from the October 20th.
There you
The
go.
bad guy. Yep.
As I mentioned before the show started, we have Perry Satin, who lives local, and Kevin Sullivan. The wrestler Kevin Sullivan, who is originally from Massachusetts. He's from Malden area. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. A little history. I've met all these people. I actually have not met Scott Hall. I never met Scott Hall, but I met the other three. I remember seeing Kevin Sullivan and taking Kevin right out of his character at one time. He whose name I will not mention, and not Valtamont, because I'll say his name. Okay? Had a problem, and I walked up to Kevin. I said to him, "Don't be upset by this, but I wish to give you my condolences for your ex-wife." He got up out of his seat, came over to me, and gave me a hug, and whispered to me, "You're the first person to say that to me." This was 3 months after Nancy Sullivan met her demise. He said, "Thank you very, very much for saying that to me. I appreciate it immensely." I said, "She's the mother of your son, right?" "Yes. Thank you for saying that."
Now, you also mentioned prior to tonight's show that Kevin Sullivan was trained by Killer Kowalski.
Partially, yes.
Oh, partially, yeah.
Yes.
Same thing with Triple H in China. They were
Yes,
trained
yeah.
by.
So was Bo Douglas. So was Vic Augusta, who was Vic Vicious, who I've mentioned about with the wrestling forum. Going on to his website, you'll read about all these birthdays and deaths. He mentions them almost daily. Him and Brittany Brown. Oh, it's Brittany. I always get that confused.
Yeah. All right. The WWE has a pay-per-view a weekend from this weekend. It's going to take place, I believe, Saturday afternoon, or is it Saturday night? So you don't
Saturday
know.
afternoon. I believe it's at 12, isn't it?
They hadn't even said what time
I
yet.
think it's 12. I saw it on Raw the other night. It's going to start at 12.
And it's Crown Jewels.
From
It's going to
Riyadh,
take
Saudi
place
Arabia.
in, yep. Now, since our last show, they announced a few matches. If you don't mind, Joe, announce those matches and we'll do our picks.
We got the WWE titles, Roman Reigns against Logan Paul.
I'm going to go with Roman Reigns only because, well, let me rephrase that, because of a few reasons. Number one, I don't think they're going to have Roman Reigns drop the title to an outsider in Logan Paul this way. He's more of a, well, he's a boxer, but also he's a celebrity. So I don't think he's going to drop the title to a celebrity. Even though in the past, we did see that with WCW with giving their championship to, what's his face there?
David Arquette.
David Arquette. But I don't think WWE, Triple H, who's, I believe he's booking. I know he's in charge of creative, but I believe he's booking as well. I don't think he's going to give a celebrity their championship. But also, too, Roman Reigns been champion for, I'm not sure how many days now. But
Over 2 years, almost over
and
700,
with
what, 30
the
days?
guys
like that?
who he beaten, I don't think Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul could knock him out in a punch and get the championship, so that's possible, but I don't see Roman Reigns losing to him, so I'm going to go with Roman on this
I'm
match.
going with Roman Reigns basically for what Steve just said. Same thing. And we know, Joe, you're going with Logan Paul. Next.
Bobby Lashley against Brock Lesnar.
No.
I'll go first in this one. I think Bobby Lashley's going to win, but not by pinfall. I think somehow he's going to win by a countout or something fluky. But these two guys can really go at it. People forget that Bobby Lashley was an MMA fighter for Bellator MMA for almost 7 years. And we all know Brock Lesnar's history with the MMA. Okay? They both are strong individuals, bulls, tough men. If they let that match go, or I hope they do, that could be the match of the night. I'm picking Bobby Lashley.
It's hard for me to pick. It could go either way, like how you've been explaining. But I'm going to go with the guy who I like slightly better, and that's Brock Lesnar, only because I like him slightly better than, his opponent. But I think it could go either way. Lashley could get the win, or Brock Lesnar could get the win. Either way, I see either man winning, but I'm going to go with the guy, like I said, I'm repeat myself, I apologize, but the guy I like slightly better, Brock Lesnar, I'm going to go with him. How about you, Joe? Stupid question. You're going to go with Lashley.
I was just thinking, too, I didn't think of this earlier. I think this, you notice that both those wrestlers have the same two initials? BL?
Oh, I never noticed that, Joe.
Don't mention BL. He'll start thinking of BLT and think about food again. Go on. Keep going.
Bacon. Lettuce. Tomatoes.
Bacon's next door.
BLT sandwiches.
Wish you had to make and throw it at you. Director, you have a
I think
tomato to throw
Joey decided for me what I'm having for dinner tonight. Bacon. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Next we got the OC against Judgment Day.
I'm going to go with Judgment Day because they outnumber the OC, but also too, Judgment Day been having quite a few victories as of late. So I'm going to go with them on this match.
I'm going with Judgment Day with the one factor. Rhea Ripley has been on a tear lately. I mean, she's really getting involved with the matches. She proved by slamming Luke Gallows, a 300-pound man, Monday night, that she's a strong girl. They need someone to counteract Rhea Ripley. They need someone against her. I mean, you mentioned earlier, before our show, what we were talking. Who could do it? Beth Phoenix is definitely someone who could help. I mean,
yeah, she does have a problem with them right now.
Yeah, I'm sure she would want revenge.
Does Edge come out and help the other guys? It's a possibility.
Yeah.
But the person who's not under contract, who WWE's trying to get back, doesn't want to come back, but I think if they gave her the right scenario, she might come back. Nia Jax could match up with Rhea Ripley, power-wise.
I gotta agree with you on that one. Okay, continue, Joe.
And we got a cage match. Drew McIntyre against Karrion Kross.
I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre on that match.
I'm going with Drew McIntyre in that match as well. I think Drew's going to hurt Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is a great athlete, but the way he won that match at Extreme Rules, I think, was kind of lame. I really do. To have his wife spray Drew McIntyre in the face with mace. That was... It killed the whole match, to my personal opinion. And we didn't know who you're picking Drew. Next.
The Battle of the Behemoths, Braun Strowman against Omos.
I'm going to go with Omos on this one because this is another hard to pick match for me, at least. But I'm going to go with Omos because he has a size advantage, but also too, this past Monday he threw Braun Strowman out of the ring from the middle of the rings with power. So I think he's going to not only give Braun Strowman a match where there's going to be a lot of power, but also MVP is at ringside. I see MVP interfering in this match.
I see Braun Strowman taking MVP's cane and wrapping around his neck like a necklace, personally. I mean, I'm not a big Omos fan. I never have been. I mean, he's the Giant Khali 2022. Kick, punch, leg drop, power slam, choke slam. He can't wrestle. He's a big, strong, powerful man. He was beaten by Bobby Lashley. Remember, he was pinned 1, 2, 3 by Bobby Lashley? And I personally think Braun Strowman's stronger than Bobby Lashley. Braun Strowman can wrestle a little bit. They wouldn't bring back Braun Strowman and have him lose in a big match right away. I think it would be kind of hurtful to his character. It would be better to keep this going and have him beat Omos and then have him go against him again in Survivor Series. That's my opinion. And Joey's going to pick
Strowman.
Now, is that a shock to you, Emilia? No? Nope. Doesn't think so.
Is
other
that it with the matches?
Yeah, there's only,
Just those 5 so far.
there's only 5
Wow.
listed.
There's only got 1 week left.
Well, you gotta remember too, they might mention something, we mentioned earlier, we were talking before our broadcast. I like what they did Monday night, match between Bianca Belair and Bayley. When Nikki Cross came out, dropped that whole Nikki ASH character and came out as Nikki Cross. Crazy Nikki from Sanity. I'm a big Nikki Cross fan. You know, she's married. She's still married to Killian Dane, who's no longer with the company. Who I think should be. And one of the guys they think about bringing back. He wasn't that bad a character. Maybe work with him kind of on the idea what Charlotte does with Karrion Cross. Have her husband come out and be with her. That'd be kind of interesting, actually. But I like Nikki Cross coming out and being Crazy Nikki again. I think she's a very underrated wrestler. Nicole Norcross is a really good athlete. And she's really underrated.
Bacon. Bacon. Oh, I'm sorry, I was dreaming. Okay, well,
This is wrestling time, not bacon time.
oh, I thought it was decide what I'm gonna have for tonight's dinner time. Okay, my bad. I apologize, guys.
No, you don't.
It's rude of me to think of food during the talk show taping. Okay, well, since we're still on the wrestling topics, independents are having shows, I'm sure, coming up. Do you have any independent
Well,
shows?
first, before we go into the shows that are coming up, I was at a show this past week in RWA down in Riverside. It was, I'll say maybe 85 people there. It was a very good turnout. Great matches. There was 8 matches, featuring a dog collar match between Chris Dozier and Steve Russo, who you folks don't know, but he's Alejandro Russo, Steve Russo, his real name, I'm sorry, but Alejandro Russo. I mean, 2 guys that beat the heck out of each other with a strap. I know those guys are still hurting. I'm personal friends with Alejandro Russo. Actually went with him and Mike Baker and Devin Baker. We went to go see Judas Priest a couple weeks ago on a Sunday. He had an extra ticket, and I actually drove to Boston with Alejandro Russo. He was a good friend of mine. He was trained by Mike Baker. So it was a great match between him and Chris Dozier. 2 men left it all in the ring, left each other a bloody mess, and it was a pretty good dog collar match. Oh, I mean, for $10, you can't go beat the RWA. I know they have matches coming up next month. I'll give you more information next show on their next matches. Well, I have a list of what's coming up and what's happening. The day you watch these folks is going to be Saturday. This is the 29th. LPW has their Monsters Ball. I believe it starts at 7:30. That's bell time. It's going to be at the Natick Amvets Post, number 79 Superior Drive in Natick, Mass. It's a $15 show, or 4 tickets for $50. They have that deal, which is not a bad deal either, think about it. They're going to be featuring Brutus Beefcake. And Alicia Edwards will be there. Impact star who's working in this local area for years, but it'll be good to see Ed Leslie if I go to the show. I haven't seen Ed for a few years now. Local man. Sunday, which is the 30th, Teddy Goods hasn't really named his promotion yet. Hopefully he will. He's just calling it Pro Wrestling for now. It's going to be at the Revival Brew Lost Valley Pizza at 50 Sims Ave in Providence. Going to be inside this time. The last time I went to one of the shows there, it was outside. A little cool to be outside. Although the weather has been a little crazy this past week. A little rainy too. But his show, it was $15 and it might be $15.20 because his last indoor show was $20 over in Mattapoisett, which I did not attend, but I always put on great shows and another great card. The lastly one I have listed here is going to be NWWE Fall Brawl. That's going to be Saturday, November the 12th. Just bell time's at 7:30. It's going to be at the Bridgewater Vets Club, 85 Carter Street in Bridgewater. You go online, and WWE, and you get your ticket in advance, it's $20. At the door, it's $25. But he has a special going for this show, $15 for all children 15 and under. He's going to be featuring Bushwhacker Luke and Jay Lethal, ROH star Jay Lethal and WWE star Jay Lethal. Should be a good card. I will definitely be at that show. I've said this to people for years too. If you ever go to these shows and you see me and or Steve, someday we'll drag Joe along. We'll leave him there, but we'll drag him along. Okay? We'll bring Emma Leah with us too. Walk over to us and talk to us. We'll be glad to talk to you about wrestling. Excuse me. I've been involved in the independent circuit, you know, like I said, for over 40 years. I've gone to over 6,000 matches. Wow. These kids work hard for under $30. I never think I've ever paid more than $30 for a match, for wrestling tickets. Me and Emily won those tickets once, remember? Emily, to go see the Boogeyman at Campanelli Stadium?
Yeah.
I won those in a raffle at Top Rope, which actually, I think Top Rope has a card coming up this Friday too, which you won't be able to see because it's not bailing just till Saturday. But Top Rope performs a lot of times on Quincy Street in Brockton. You know, local show, $20, what we paid for it. NCW has one this Friday. Again, go on independentwrestling.com. Go to NWWE and toggle over, look around. Your sidebars will give you different wrestling shows. I mean, for under $30, you can go out and have a night out. Usually it's only $10, it's 15 max, that I've paid lately. Great wrestling, great time. See some of the future stars that may be going to WWE. I mean, there's a couple guys that have gone there. Teddy Goods has worked on SmackDown. We've seen LPW shows. We've seen Christian Casanova, who's now Carmelo Anthony. We've seen T-Bar, Donovan Dijak, work right up the street at the Attleboro Moose Lodge for SPW. We've seen these guys local. I mean, I walked up to Teddy Goods and says, Teddy, I dedicate my entire career to you because you went under your name. Teddy Goods, that's his stage name locally. He didn't go under some other name. Ibar, local kid, as mentioned before, from the Viking Warriors. He's local. Todd Smith, I've known Todd for many years. Handsome Johnny Hayes. He's, you know, really nice kid, good wrestler, good worker.
Same thing with Anthony Green. He made
it's all good. I mean, I remember Anthony
NXT
Green.
And AEW as well.
Yep, he's been both.
Yep, and then one guy who I think have talent to make it to the WWE is the guy you're wearing on your shirt, Brandon Webb.
Brandon's older than people think he is. Brandon's 37, 38. He started wrestling when he was 18. Wow. He's getting older. He partially retired this past summer. Brendan's a great worker, excellent wrestler. He's a good character. He likes to play characters. I mean, he has the ability he has a makeup ability, and he plays characters. I mean, I remember when they had a match for the Beastmaster, who passed, one of the Welling City Murder Crew, who just passed. Nick Steele had a time. He dressed up as the Grinch in that match, with the green makeup on, and just did a great job doing the match. A little more of a comic relief match. But he's a great worker, excellent guy, real nice person. One of my better friends in this area. I mean, he comes out to this song, "Shout Out to Duffel," great song. It was Kiss, I think, who sings this. Joe, I think it's Kiss.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, well, we still got a few minutes left. I want to throw in the topic of football, Patriots, since we got a few minutes left. A lot of fans of the Patriots want to know who they're going to have play the role of the starting quarterback from
Scott Zolak.
Next weekend on.
He's going to be at the game, right? So he's in his 50s and... No, I'm joking.
People are wondering if it's going to be Zappi or Jones.
I guess they've announced today
they did
before I came in
announce it.
that
Okay.
it's going to be Mac Jones going to start the game. What I think happened last game is Mac Jones went out and tried to use his leg and tried to play football. Because of the inclement weather and a slippery field, hopefully he went back and told coach, I can't do this. It's hurting my leg too much. I can't get a good grip. I can't get a good stance. And it's bothering me too much. I'm starting too early. That's when they put in Zappi. Zappi played great. I mean, he had a couple interceptions, but I mean, the defense kind of let the team down more than the offense did. I think if the defense plays better, it's proven. And when the defense plays good, they're unstoppable. I mean, 29-0 against Detroit. So.
Okay, now to jump to baseball playoffs.
Do we have to?
The Yankees are eliminated. The Yankees are
Yes,
eliminated.
I'm planning on a Yankee elimination party. I hope I'm going to invite Emily. I'm going to invite your brother Jay. All you other Yankee fans. Hey, Yankees, Yankees. I can't. Any team wins besides the Yankees, I'm happy. Any team. I don't care who it is. If Tito Montana's going to beat them, and I'd be happy. All right? Yankees had a great season. So did Los Angeles Dodgers. 111 wins. Yankees had what, 106? 107? Great teams. I picked them to go to the World Series this year. That's how good they were playing at the beginning of the season.
Matter of fact, one of the Yankees, Aaron Judge, had a good season as in hitting all them home runs.
62 home runs. He beat Roger Maris's
And
record
without
61.
cheating either, without using steroids.
No, power with talent and ability. He's the most sought-after free agent right now in baseball. I read a little about that. Keep an eye on that. I guess the San Francisco Giants are going to go all out for him. He's from San Francisco. He's a San Francisco born and bred.
Yeah.
And they're going to open up their wallets for him. They want him bad in San Francisco.
Now, one point I want to bring up is one of my co-workers brought up a point. Back in the steroid saga with guys hitting all these home runs, some of the pitches were on steroids too. So wouldn't it be evenly matched up with people like Roger Clemens and other pitchers who are on steroids, and hitters like Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa who had a whole lot of home runs? But
Mark McGuire. Not Mike McGuire is
Canseco.
Senator Kennedy said. Jose Canseco. I wrote a book about it.
If you have a batter on steroids and a pitcher on steroids, ain't it pretty much evenly matched?
Yes and no.
No.
Shouldn't be on steroids at all.
That's true. Good point. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on the stage. This half hour has gone by so quickly. Thank you to the director. Thank you to WACS. And as always, thank you to the viewers. And thank you, Emma Lilly. Okay, until next.
Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Actually, Halloween is Monday the 31st.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, viewers. I'm going to consider eating that BLT for dinner tonight. Thank you, Joe, for that advice.
I gave you the advice.
Okay, thank you, Bubba. Okay, until next time.
Happy Halloween.
Have yourself a good 2 weeks.